everybody. If you're watching this, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment. Thanks, everybody. So I'm back for another review of Love During Lockup, season 5, episode 57, Hunter's Choice. I'm just gonna tell y'all right now, I am fatigued. Okay, not even tired, fatigued. Like, I am exhausted, I am drained, and I can't even necessarily trace it. It's not anything my students did or anything like that. It's just like, it's cold. Hell froze over this week, and now we have to get ice skates. Like, all of these things are just, not to mention all them executive orders. I'm just kind of talking this through. Just I'm trying to figure out why I'm so tired. Anyway, moving on. All right, so we're gonna be quick about this. Sam and Crystal. Sam, take your ass back to Oregon. Just go back. Just go back. Pretend like this never happened. You are still young enough to where you can this be water under the bridge, and you can tell a story while you drinking, and tell people at the bar, I married this chick while she was in prison. She was crazy as hell. It's best that you do that, okay? Because they arguing and fighting over the phone. Actually, it's the other way around. Crystal is arguing and fighting with him while he still tries to speak up and be reasonable. He said, look, I've been up for 30 hours. That's too damn long for anybody. Certainly, if you want people to drive long distances, don't do that. Don't. She has no compassion. She is selfish. She is a taker. Those kind of people, I can't stand them, even if I do think you being stupid, Sam. Anyway, she's a selfish bitch. And she's apparently waiting for you to become her bitch while she's being a selfish bitch. Anyway, so she's saying he put his job before their real life. I'm like, girl, him going to work is his real life. That's what we have to do on the outside when we're not messing around with drugs and all kinds of schemes and scams. Okay, that's what the rest of us have to do. Okay, so slow your roll. Anyway, Sam, I'm glad you realize you're their grief mom and that they're using you. I mean, we saw it, but we just watching this. So she is acting like she was like, I call you all the time in my spare moments. I said, you in prison, all you got is spare moments. What you mean? What do you mean? You ain't fooling nobody. From the inside to outside, either side, miss me. So he bought a house. So I bought a house for us, for when you get out. Not rented a nice apartment. No. He bought a house in the event that she gets out, even though they don't even know if she's going to make parole. I said, I'm done. This is stupid. Speaking of stupid, let's just go ahead and jump to it. MJ and Willie. MJ, I don't see it for you. And I mean, I don't see it for you. I'm not even talking about Willie. I ain't talking about Ami. I'm talking about you. Okay? It might as well be Willie, MJ, and Ami the same way as Kate, Hunter, and Kaylee. Or was. But I'm sorry. Anyway, so Ami showed up outside the house where she's staying. I'm confused if she's staying with a family friend. This is an Airbnb, whatever it is. MJ wanted Ami to show up. That's the only way he knew where you were, because it doesn't seem like the family is in this house. So it's not like she's staying at her mom's. Anyway, so she says she's leaving because she's tired, that she came all the way out here for all of this BS, yada, yada, yada. I thought you came to check on your mother who has cancer, MJ. That seems to get lost. Now, could that have gotten lost via editing? Maybe. But I don't think so. And that should have been your primary concern. Granted, this show is about that, but the way in which you told us that's when you were going to check on your mother, miss me. You are so emotionally all over the place. I'll stop just short of saying completely unhinged. You are too much. Okay, you're too much to even watch on TV. Okay, and I'm somebody who lives for the fuck shit on reality TV. But no, even after all these years. Anyway, so Ami, she said, well, look, we should sit down and talk like adults. She wants to talk to him, okay? She wants to be in his presence. Ami said, look, I want my wife back, this, that, and the other. Okay, whatever. Ami's being clear, all right? So she says, I'm in a relationship. I'm happy. Don't I look happy? He was like, no, you look miserable. MJ, baby, it's the truth. It's the truth. That's why when I said I don't see it for you, I mean I don't see it for you. You on some fuck shit. Like I don't like it's not even cute. It's not kind of funny. Like we can't even laugh at it. Even though like I could go in real hard on how much I can't stand Zaria, the girl who be for some reason Troy is still with her. See, I can go in on that and hate her because she just crazy. But MJ, like I just don't think you have any business in front of a camera, which is exactly why WeTV would let you be in front of a camera. Anyway, you do look miserable, and you've been crying like a baby this whole damn trip. Willie. I just can't. I can't. No, ma'am. Not at 37. We are the same age. I'll leave it there. Okay. MJ, you are also, don't say you're so confused. You're not confused. You're in denial about your feelings about Ami. You may know he's not good for you and therefore you don't want to be with him. I get it. The problem is you don't get that. You can't just leave well enough alone. Okay? So saying Ami is playing games, girl, you play games when you were giggling and smiling in his face and let him even come over there to see you. Don't play. Don't. Actually, you know what? Play in somebody else's face, but not in ours. Play in Ami's face. Don't play in ours. Play in Willie's, well, you can't play in his face. Anyway, all right. Don't think because you got in the car and just said goodbye to him and you closed that chapter that we think you're through with him. No, you're not. I wouldn't be surprised you had that little redheaded girl come back and turn around and pick him up. Anyway, Willie calls and asks her if she was busy or she was getting busy. Honestly, that's a legitimate question at this point. It's overly legitimate. But Willie, you just like passing the time with MJ the same way she likes passing the time with you. We heard about your ex-wife for a good 5 or 6 minutes on an hour-long show before you got into why you was really with MJ. And that tells me a whole lot. Both of y'all are trying to make the other person that y'all left jealous. And Willie, you can't really do it from jail. So you and MJ are convenient to use each other. Okay, and that's what I got on that. Willie, MJ doesn't like Willie. I don't think she likes him. I don't think she's really attracted to him. I think she's trying to make herself like him, and that's why she is so torn, because like I said, she's in denial. Will just has every right to react the way he wants, but she just wants him to try to get rid of her feelings for Ami, and apparently he's trying to do the same, and I don't feel shit for either one of them. Moving on. Tia and Savannah and Bradley, these are some nothing ass bitches. I'm glad the season finale because these people ain't giving nothing. Bradley's name, of course, is still spelled wrong. Yes, I'm still on that. She's going to get this dumbass tattoo. She's going to get the first letter of his name to see how he reacts. So she brings in her computer so she can Skype him and surprise him this way with something not only did he not ask for, he said he thought it was a bad idea, that's not a good thing. It's an omen. It almost guarantees to break up a couple, okay? She's delusional. She's delusional. Now, he told her it was a bad idea. She said, well, he backed out of paying for my BBL, and now he doesn't want me to get the tattoo. He told you that shit was a bad idea from the gate. Like, don't compare those things, and you were a dumbass if you thought he could pay for a BBL from jail. Huh? I'm not going to even call you ma'am because you live on a plantation. Don't think you're going to get me like that. Anyway, she's manipulative. She was hoping he would do the same thing, and you stupid. Because he has been very clear. He hasn't been talking in circles or nothing like that. You full of shit. So Bradley is coming home in a day. He's getting out. I don't know that he's coming home to you, but okay, girl. He does not want you like that. And yes, I do think old girl that was out there arguing with her at the furniture store is right. He has every intention of just leaving you when this all is said and done. Apparently, we finally found out how they got this plantation, this plantation house, this labor camp house. Grandma was married to an alcoholic the first time and then got married and married up. Even if she divorced him, they sold software. And that's how they had this money to build imitation of Thomas Jefferson's slave labor camp. Anyway, so the woman who tried to get in my comments last week and tell me, oh, when you said labor camp, I was done. Now, I wasn't going to argue with nobody who wanted to be ignorant. Please note that a labor camp is a much more appropriate term. Plantations can exist without people. Y'all do realize that. It doesn't have to be slaves on it. So when you say a plantation somewhere, then yeah, sure, there might be connotations in the American context, but a plantation means this, rich land. A labor camp involves the actual use of the people who were enslaved against their will in the historical narrative. And I left that link down there with that article for her. I'm sure she didn't read it because I'm sure she's one of the people that thinks she knows everything. But don't fucking play with me like that. Don't. But anyway, grandma has apparently dealt with addicts. I don't know if the second husband was an addict. Apparently he was a functional one where she could get her money. And then her mother became an addict. Her mother was on meth. She said like 25 years ago. And I was like, ooh, that was even earlier than the kids that was doing it in high school. That I have, knowledge of, but okay. So she was just talking about, she was like, look, this is what people go back to. She said there are people that go to rehab, and just because you go to rehab doesn't mean you learn. She was like, you were a different person. Your mother went through it. She was like, there are people who were giving blowjobs for like $2. Savannah says, $2 was a lot of money back then. I said, yeah, you was out there. You was strung out. Because you still in your mind had the idea, oh yeah, I remember that, and $2, would get me whatever to get off. Like, Savannah, I don't care. I don't want to see you ever again, and we won't, because you and Bradley won't be together. All right, Tia and Rob. Okay, Tia is mad that Rob's boys want to come and see him. Originally, I thought the thing that popped up on the screen said 5 days later. No, it was 5 hours. I get it. I'm going to be honest. I get both sides. But there is an unrealistic expectation on Tia's part. Everybody wants to see somebody once they get out of jail. And the bottom line is, if y'all were dating for a year and he was in there for 7 or 8, those people have known him longer and yes, want to see him. And honestly, they came to him. Rob has a good support, like in terms of family and network, because they came for him as opposed to, oh yeah, come meet me out here. They were just taking a walk around the block. Like, he's saying she is kind of possessive after 5 hours. Rob, now you can't make that kind of accusation, because that's a strong accusation. Somebody's possessive. That's how I felt until she called and said, where are you? Let me tell you something. I don't care how anybody else feels about it. Don't you ever in your motherfucking life call me or text me and begin with, where are you? Ever. Where am I? Here. None of your damn business. And you want to know why that shit gets to my core? Because I know it don't bother everybody. It gets to mine. I had a very strict father who would do that, and I can't stand it. I will not. Like, you will go so far out of my life. Like, I will act like you died and never came back. Like, even if you sitting right in my face, never. Don't do it. Only after I go off on you. Anyway, so I understood why both of them were annoyed, because I think both of them had reasonable issues, right? He started laughing when she was complaining to him, and he picked up his phone after not having one for several years. I get it. And it did seem like the kind of laugh that, like, if I laugh, maybe she'll get mad and walk away. And I'm going to do that on purpose just so I don't have to hear this shit right now. And sometimes, bottom line is, you get out of prison, sometimes you need a second. You need a second. And we also have to be honest. Rob just got out of prison. Now, while he may want to have sex with you all day, he has also managed to go without it for this long. So what's another 8-minute walk around the block? I mean, I'm just saying. Okay. So I get she wants to be with him, and she's upset that he's giving attention to his family and other people, on this day. But they were looking out for him, like I said, before you came into the picture, Tia. And I get both sides. I was just like, Rob, just dick her down and send her to bed. Problem solved. But nevertheless, he apologizes on the balcony and tells her, he's sorry for making her feel bad. And he gave a real apology. Not, but you did. Not, but you said. Not, I didn't like your tone, but I'm going to apologize. He apologized the way I think a grown fucking man should apologize. And I can tell you had a good father in your life. Please note the adjective before father, a good one in your life. Because you learned how to act. So anyway, he did the right thing. You can't fight. And Tia, you can't fight with no fine man like that after he apologizes to you and didn't gaslight you. You just, okay, all right, girl, just forgive him and move on. You can't be his warden at home and he just got out of prison. So he's on top of his shit. Remember, who was the guy? What was his name? True. Remember how old girl was like on his ass about getting, through his parole like he was a child because he was acting like one? Not Rob. Rob, you on the straight and narrow. You all right with me. I don't care if it was just the next day. So he was going to see his parole officer. He was like, look, I want to build a good relationship with my PO. I really wanted Tia to come. But the bottom line is I have to be on time. And I think that's great. I think he's serious. And I think because he's taking this attitude, I don't see him going back. And that's always a good thing. So he's talking to his cousin. And she was like, well, she wants you around. Is she really gonna let you go to Brooklyn? Why don't you call and ask? Can you stay out there on Long Island or whatever with her? And he calls and asks if he can move his parole, since he was going in there, just go ahead and make the case instead of Brooklyn. And she said she wants him there, but in a little bit, like not right now. And she said because of Nyla. Tia, hear me and hear me well. You did the right thing. Your child comes first, period, hard, stop. And the cousin going, well, I guess, she don't want you around that back. Don't do that. Don't do that. She did the right thing for her kid. Now, I do think she going to be going a little when she don't know where he's at. But the bottom line is your kid comes first and you did what you were supposed to do as a mother. All right? Now, last and least, Kate Hunter and Kaylee. Anyway, so her black friend meets her at yoga. I don't remember her name. And she asked how the meeting went with the lawyer. Kate, you're a liar and a manipulator. And at this point, I don't think you're too far from who Hunter is. Okay? The way you began that story to your friend by saying, well, the lawyer agrees with us that he should stop communicating with the right of prisoner women because it's going to give them the wrong impression. I said, first of all, you didn't go there for a moral compass, darling. You went there to find out what's legal, what's illegal, and what you can do to get him out quickly. So she asked Hunter if he was still in a relationship with those women. And he had told her no. Because she was like, well, good, because the lawyer said it can be a scam. It can be seen as this and the other. So he calls her while she's at this yoga thing and asked to talk to her in private. He said there's one woman he still talks to. She's been coming to visit, giving him hand jobs and stuff. And she's just in a confession. That's disgusting. And he's calling me to make himself feel better about it. I said, bitch, you should have asked how is she coming to visit you. And you told me you couldn't have visitors in the first place. That's how her face looked. Anyway, she talks to him like she's his mother. They get into a back and forth, and then my head started hurting. I told you I'm already fatigued. My head started hurting with the tone of her voice because it's annoying. He told her this was so long ago, like before, they were in a relationship. I said, weren't y'all together before you went into jail? See, this is what I'm talking about. Liars do what liars do, and I'm over it. And I'm over it because y'all are two peas in a pod for a reason. I had a problem with the fact that it looked like it was 2 p.m. when they met up there at that park, and all of a sudden when she got off the phone with him, it was sunset. Like, it was dark outside by the time she got off the phone. I'm just saying. Anyway, then we get Kaylee, because this love triangle is about to turn into a parallel line. Okay, Kaylee is chilling with her homie at the salon. Nick is like, look, I don't think she needs to spend any money on a lawyer. They're moving too fast. This, that, and the other. Kaylee, you are going to be the one that we can't feel sorry for in this whole thing. And I tried to give you so much grace because you were young. Because everybody around you was telling you the same thing. It wasn't like, oh, people are pretending here. People, no. And your friends did it in a very nice way, in a loving way, but in a clear way. Over and over again. From the people at the restaurant to your high school friend that came in to get her hair done, Nick. Like, you have had friends to be very clear with you. Okay? He calls her on speakerphone, and see, he doesn't ask to talk to her privately, even though she's at her job and gets ready to try to tell him something. He just wants to tell her and embarrass the hell out of her. He gave that white woman grace, but okay. He says, look, I need to talk and get this off my chest. I just haven't been talking to you over the past few months. The fact that she's shocked, so shocked says she's fucking naive, or dumb. Because to get on this show, you had to watch it before. You know how this goes. But she young, okay? So you, he tells her he's been talking to his ex. And she was like, so how long? What do you mean a few months? About 3 months. Haven't him and Kate been together like for a year and knew each other before the... This is what I'm talking about. Like, I can't stand nobody who just lies. I mean, but I guess, what else do we expect at this point? Everything is lies, whatever. So, and he's breaking up with her, and he says in the confessional in prison, I guess, I like Kaylee, but I have to put myself first. I said, you've been doing that, motherfucker. You done took this girl's money and these other women's money. Whoever had that hit out on him, just go ahead and let them kick his ass. Anyway, Kaylee was like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, I felt like she was waiting for him to say, oh, I'm just joking. Like, she really thought he was going to do that. And that did not happen. We knew that wasn't going to happen. But nevertheless, she kept waiting for him. This is a joke. This is a joke. She told Nick what was happening when he walked in. And he was like, oh, no. You got to get rid of him. And she said, he's been talking to some other bitch. And he tells her clearly that he is choosing someone else. She threw her $100 thrift store ring across the floor. Yes, darling, this is what it looks like to get played. I'm sorry. And he did what they do. He went after the blonde white girl type, which is his type anyway, and used you. You're not fully black, but you black enough for him to feel like. Granted, he did it to those other women too. He let you come and visit him in prison. Do stuff on the webcam that guards saw. Send him money. Told you he was going to marry you and played you like this on TV, knowing he was talking to both women like this on this show. Now, I hope we find out that y'all knew this all along and this was just to make money, but you're young, so I'm not going to go in on y'all, and I am fatigued, so I'm going to go to bed. I hope y'all have a really good night, and I will see y'all soon. Bye. Oh, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that business.